friendship, 50 years of blessings, mom and dad. Bless you. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Thank you.
We got married in 1964, December 5. I would say we were blessed after we got married. And we had our firstborn in the following year, like September 13. We had our firstborn, a boy. That was a blessing.
A big blessing.
A big blessing.
Yes.
Then, after 1 year, another one, a girl.
Yes. Yes.
It was a blessing. And then the following year, I had children yearly, 3 of them. We have got 2 girls, 3 boys. All grown and married.
All married.
Maybe the children, grandchildren.
Anthony Kitel. I'm actually the firstborn of Mathenge, Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Rosemary Mutunke. I'm the second born in Mr. and Mrs. Mathenge's family.
The 50th anniversary was my father-in-law's. I happened to be the first-in-law in this family, the first son-in-law in this family.
Yeah, my name is Bob Mathenge Degwa. Now I'm the third born.
I'm Joaquin Degwa. I've been married to Bob Degwa Mathenge. We call him Bob Mathenge. All his friends call him Bob Mathenge. So we've been married 15 years now, this December.
My name is Judy Ogana. Judy Wanjiko Ogana. I am the fourth born of Mr. and Mrs. Mathenge.
My name is Fred Ogana, and Mr. and Mrs. Mathenge are my parents. Wow, it's been a lovely 15 years and a half.
You're doing
True.
very well.
15 years and a half.
Yeah.
So looking forward to the 16th.
My names are David K. Mathenge. I'm the last born son of the Mathenges.
Nameless is a baby, as far as we are concerned.
She's a baby.
My name is Wahu Mathenge and I am his wife.
We've kind of had certain milestones that we celebrate. So what comes to mind quickly is when my dad turned 50. We had a party for him, and we've had a party for my mom when she was 70, and we have had, some 75 for my dad, and so a couple of those kind of anniversaries. And then when we started realizing that my folks are going to be 50 years in 2014, which was like about 3 years ago, we realized that we really might. It's more about the Thanksgiving and just being appreciative of the fact that my parents are here, alive with us. We are married ourselves, so we know the challenges of being married for 50 years. We started discussing it about 3 years ago when we have family meetings. And then now about a year ago is when now we said, okay, it's on this day, and we now start planning. What will that look like?
For me, I think the fact that I'm also married and I've experienced marriage for 9 years, it's newfound respect. I think if someone hasn't been married, then they would not really see the value of that. It's an achievement. So for me, it's just when I was talking to my dad 2 years ago, and he was like, you know, we're getting to be celebrating 50 years. I was like, wow, like, you know, how do you do that? How did you do that? How do you maintain and still be close? And did you ever have problems? And, you know, how did you work it out? And how did you get to this point? So for me, that's the first thing that came to my mind, yes. I think even when I'm 80, I'll never feel old. I always feel young.
I'm feeling great, especially when I remember that what we are going to remember is that it's 50 years. And when I see my children and their own children, I really feel very great to see that this occasion is happening now, and it is a very big blessing.
Seeing my folks being able to stand, being able to move around, you know, unaided in such an occasion, I think was motivating in many ways. Earlier in the year, anyway, Mom had to go through a surgery, and that was tough for her and for all of us. And one of the things she was very concerned about is how she will be by the time of the anniversary, because as I said, we had started talking about the anniversary for a while. But seeing her being strong and being able to take up the day, and it is actually quite a demanding day. You know, I don't think they slept the night before. My mom was awake very early in the morning. My dad is always awake very early in the morning. And they're up and down and having to hug and kneel down and stand up and do all sorts of things.
Mr. J, yes. Okay, I was looking at them doing it, coming out of the house, you know, I was around. And then you compare with your few years in marriage, and the guys there, I mean, he has done it. Guys have done it, yes, it's 50.
My brother Bob is very good at his timekeeping. Just checking his everybody, are you up? Are you on track? So it meant 6:30 latest. 6 o'clock everybody should be on their way, including Nameless, who has a small daughter of 1 year. But they were actually the first people to make it in his area.
Right. To be there at 11, she tried.
5 minutes past 11,
she tried.
We were in church. We
it
were
worked
all
very
in
well.
church. They went with my brother's car, and then we all came. We all were driving family, or we mixed them up, but we all came. So we were in about 4 cars. We came in dancing. We had done a routine, how we enter. We started with the youngest, so Nameless and who started, got in, followed by my sister Judy and her husband Fred, and there were steps they were taking, and then after that was Bob and Joki, and then ourselves, Oscar and myself, and then my eldest brother. So it was fun.
A bit shy, but it just appeared so beautiful when we were all there in the queue. I don't think I had imagined it being that beautiful, and maybe it's because I wasn't very involved in the planning of the wedding of their anniversary. So a lot of things were coming as a surprise to me.
In the morning, that morning, when we're having breakfast with Mom, we're just chatting, trying to get things going. Because we had spent the night there, but she's a bride. Surely she should have her. We were saying that we were in her lineup, right? My sister and I. The family was in her lineup, so we thought we need to go and just stay with her through the night. So in the morning, we were having breakfast, and then it occurred to me that we hadn't even told her what the plan was, how people were coming into the church. So I started just saying it in a very casual way, then the kids will go, there's a song, and they're going to be doing a routine, and then we will come in, and then I said very casually that Wahoo would sing for you as you come down the aisle, and my mom just started to tear. She started crying. She had no idea. Look, we had discussed this. It was something that was going to happen. We knew Mom loved Sweet Love, and she loved that song. And that morning, my mom was crying. And so it was so emotional.
I'm watching my wife sing and watching my dad and mom walking down. For me, it was like a magical moment, and I could see, my mom and I'm like, how many kids can have that opportunity to be in their parents' wedding? Because it felt like their wedding. It wasn't just like normally you tell your parent, you tell your kids, oh, this is what happened already, but now we were all there and we were all part of the committee. So it was a surreal moment, and I could just tell my dad, a bit old, so a bit slow, but he could see he was emotional, and he had talked to me 2 years ago, and he was like, I'd really like to celebrate, our family on our 50th, and I'm like, the biggest thing is happening, and finally the day has reached,
There's a lot of joy, I think, watching them walk in and just nice and slow, because it looked like it took 1 hour for them to walk in. Just because every step was just a moment for you to capture. So it was beautiful. I think it's one of those things. Say, oh my goodness, will I see this again? Can you go back and start again? Let's see you do that one more time. It was nice, and they were just so happy with themselves. They've been to all their friends. Some of them they've not seen for like 20, 30, 40 years. It's just been a long time since they met them. So it was amazing.
It was very emotional. I mean, because we were not there the first time, and when we have been blessed to be there, and they looked beautiful. They really looked amazing. They looked so happy and content, and being able to see your parents like go down the aisle with this, like, we were thinking about it, with the same man and with the same woman they did 50 years ago. It's priceless. She's my mom, but she's a woman who has her dreams, her hopes, as well.
How many women get to sing at their mother-in-law's 50th anniversary? Not just sing for them coming down the aisle. And for me, it was such a special moment. I felt honored. I felt very blessed. I don't know how else I can express to see your parents walking down the aisle. And I think it's a mixture of feelings. First, you feel grateful to God for keeping them healthy and alive all these years. Yeah, you feel happy, just a very strong, overwhelming feeling of happiness. and I don't know what else. I can't really find the words to explain it. But for me, for them walking down the aisle, I'm like, oh God, I really want to do a good job. You know, it's such a wonderful it was such a wonderful moment for me. I have the most amazing parents-in-law, I must say that. And I've understood now, and I think what people don't understand is the non-verbal lessons that people learn. You know, I unfortunately hear very many stories about the mother-in-law who is maybe not so welcoming, or the family-in-law that is not so welcoming. And I'm so happy, and I consider myself very blessed, because that is not my story. My mom embraced me with both hands. She's my mom. I feel so welcomed in that home, and the spirit of that home is so warm and positive, and about unity and about family. And I think for me, that in itself is a reason why they have gotten to where they have gotten. 50 years, it's not a small feat. Not many people get there. And again, not many people, even those who get there, can't say we are happy. You know, there's that percentage of people who are not. But I look at my parents, and they've achieved both. They've been together 50 years, and they're happy, and they're wonderful people. So it's encouraging for me, especially in this day and age where it's not the usual story. Everybody, and the messaging and everything that goes out there is that, oh, marriage doesn't work, or don't do this, and you look at them glowing and happy. And so my father-in-law being so warm towards my mother-in-law, and vice versa, it's extremely encouraging for me. Yeah.
Mke mwema ni nani anaweza kumwona? Maana kima chake chapita kima cha marijani. Moyo wa mumewe humwamini, wala hatakosa kupata mapato. Humtendea mema wala si mabaya.
But we got Reverend Jesse come out to we talked to him a little earlier, again, maybe about 5 months ago or something.
Yeah.
And we went to see him. He's retired from the PCA church, but he's still, because my parents go to PCA church. And we went to see him and requested. He was very excited about it, very happy. But like we all know, we are all married, so we know that it's not just the day itself. It's recognizing the need to know, especially for my parents, that the next stage they are going is, very tricky, because their health-wise is a challenge. Who takes care of who? So it's just like a counseling session. And then when he talked to each and one of us and knew that we are all married, he said it's also a good chance for us to talk about where we are. We are all at different levels. You guys got married the first 21. The next one's following is actually my sister and my brother Judy and Bob got married the same year. So Judy did it in April, and Bob got married in December. Then after that, my other brother is 14 years. And then our youngest brother, Nameless, who's 9 years. So he said it's also a good chance for us to just reflect on our marriages, the marriage vows, and what marriage really means. So that's what the counseling session was all about.
We give thanks to you, our Father, for keeping us until this day.
Parents alone.
We thank you for these children whom you have given us, and for all our friends.
Children.
Thank you for these our parents, for their love, for their self-denial, so that we may have a good upbringing. Help us to love them for all our days.
The whole nuclear family together.
Thank you for giving us a happy home and for staying with us in the difficult times. We thank you for fellowship in the life and work of our home, for growth
the vows you take in the beginning are very flowery.
For
and
better, for worse.
It's
for
very
richer, for poorer.
It's
and it sounds so
romantic.
Yes, and it's supposed to be. Yeah.
It's very romantic and so, and people saying it's exciting. The one for
50 years.
50 years, eh?
It's a
Right.
deep one.
Yeah.
I know you with all
I
your
pissed you off,
weaknesses.
and I know I let you down, and I know, but we are together, and I love you, and I know I'm not perfect. You know you're not perfect. It was very real. And when I was reading it, I was like, wow, like they already know even before you say they know it. It's like you can't cheat us, whoever puts them out. You can't pretend or lie.
Don't
I
lie
know
to us,
that whatever happened, let down your partner this time, you did this and somehow worked it out, and I was not the perfect person, and before God, and God, thank you for being there with us during this time, and we realize we cannot do it without you, and we need to go. For me, that's what I was getting out of it.
It was very powerful,
It was
actually.
very deep, though.
It was balancing tear type of feeling. No, this honestly,
Yeah,
it was very powerful. In the church, it was very powerful because, and the power was in several ways. It was you would tell us to hold hands and look at each other. Then even though it was even speaking in Kiswahili. In Kiswahili now it even has another meaning or thought, but you can understand what it was. And I think the whole part of this although you are married in a singular dual manner, the marriage commitment is like you need to announce it so that you can confirm it with all the people around you. So I mean, it was very powerful. I found it very powerful, and even after that's why Joki was saying, we actually whispered. We said, hey, that was our anniversary right there just before. I mean, we felt it quite strong in the church. In fact, the reception was, it was a party, but the church ceremony was actually very good and powerful. For me, the word I can use is just, it was very powerful.
I hear the rolling thunder, thy path throughout the universe displayed.
Peggy Onyango is one who was doing now our dresses for us, the so-called the maid, the ones now the family. We pretty much knew that the big girls will hold one color, the boys will wear waistcoats, the small boys were going to wear waistcoats with the family color, and that the back would have the same color. We knew the men will wear now our color, the sash and this. So we pretty much knew that, but it was just really how do we differentiate Wahoo from Lucy, from mine, and from Judy's and Joki's. When they came in, Anne had done amazing photos of when they were young, the walk of
it was nice.
It was
on the
beautiful.
Side, on the sidewalk.
Yeah, and it was a big surprise.
Yeah,
Yes, it was a
nice.
surprise to them. You can imagine photos when my mom was 19. I think that was her first photo. She saw that we took her photos so we can be able to give them to Anne and share them with a few, and she saw that and she's like, oh my god. I mean, that was her sight was to behold. These guests have come to home. They've honored you with their time to be there.
Yeah.
You can't be served, so to speak. Maybe we also learned a lot of. We have also learned from our own wedding. I mean, if you ask me if I ever got married again, I would never sit. You know, people have come, go around, say hello to them, because people have come to see you. You know, so that whole high table. That's another thing my mom said. I don't want to be high table, and then separate from the guests, so she wants to be part of the team.
Then at one stage where Kamoni was singing, my parents and his backup dancers were our kids. That was another special moment for me. He's Nameless, yeah. That's his name for you. But then now what was the icing was our kids now, the grandchildren being his backup dancers. That was for me another special moment right there. It was very nice.
Where they live, they have many children in the slum, yeah? And she was very concerned that we'll be having this fest, and what about these children?
What will they eat?
What will they eat? So we organized the church to cook food for them.
She was really relaxed. She was herself. She didn't herself, as in that time she moved that thing of worrying. But you must have really convinced her. You guys must have really convinced her that things are going to be okay.
Yeah, deeply. I don't know if there is any word. Look at my sisters, they're about to cry. That is how deep it is. Look at nobody. But it is genuine. And I must say that just preparing this for my parents has been one of my most enjoyable bonding moments with my siblings. And again, I thank you. I thank you, and I thank you, my siblings.
And family is really everything. You know, the people you cry with, the ones you laugh with. When I asked my mom, what does this really mean for you? She says it's just a day of love and beauty and God's beauty. That's how she defined what this on that day was. To be able to be with each and every of her children and all their spouses and all the grandchildren is beauty and love. And for her and for us, even just to draw from her the importance of family and the importance of coming together as a family to be joyous on this.
50 years of friendship, 50 years of blessings, mom and dad. That's it. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray!
We believe in memories, of creating memories through a certain tradition. The certain tradition we've created, we've always gone to Kiserian. And then one time we thought maybe we could get out. So I think the first time we went to Naivasha, then we went to Mombasa. This year we're going again to Naivasha. And our tradition is go there early. So before that, we know exactly which food we are eating on this day. We do the shopping, we get who's cooking, the gifts. The kids have always had gifts from their we buy the gifts before, so we also buy them in groups. So the children, when they are small girls, we would buy dolls, and the boys will buy cars, and the bigger ones will buy. So we buy them the same gift for that class of bit. We do some some skits. So we have the small girls doing the Mary. There's their little, what are they called? Ship. Who's the Mary and who's the three blind, and you know, we do a little skit so they can do it for my mom and my dad, and then they would also sing Christmas carols. Then we sing Christmas carols. So the day in the morning we wake up, and of course the kids don't sleep. Like I said, they are up because they want to get their gifts. So they're all wrapped, and then my dad and my mom give them. They're all called from the youngest to the oldest. And they all take photos, and then they open them up. That takes about 2 hours, just the whole Christmas gift business. We have the tree wherever we are, and then we sing Christmas carols, we say prayers, we kind of all know what Christmas is going to look like. First of all, we are together, so that's what we spend. Sometimes we invite a few. That's what I'm saying. We're very fortunate that we have our spouses our in-laws who are okay, because sometimes it can be tricky. So even us guys have our family, so we try it because, especially we believe that creating that tradition is important even for the children.
So for me, the other thing that I've learned, I watch a lot. I'm a big believer in non-verbal lessons, and I say, this is the kind of mother I want to be. This is the kind of messaging I want to give my kids. This is the kind of mother-in-law I want to be. So, and you understand why it is important for your daughter-in-law to feel welcome. It's not, I want you are my daughter. I can say with confidence that I just, as Monsky can go to his mom for advice, I too can go to her for advice. And I know she'll not be biased. She's a very intelligent woman, very sharp woman, and very intuitive, So she'll sit down with you and give you such wisdom. So I've understood, and I learn, and I continue to learn a lot from my mother, from both my mothers, and I hope to carry on that to my children as well, so that I can help pass on that positivity about family, about, because if you don't have a happy place to come back to, then chances of you being happy and successful in other things that you do become lower. The woman is the homemaker because she's the glue of the family, and her energy reflects and dictates the energy of the unit. If you look at my mother-in-law, she has such positive energy about her, and it reflects on her home. You're the producer of your life. You're the producer and director of your life, and you're also the star of your life. You're the one acting in it. So it's really what you make of it. It's what you put into it that you're going to sow back. As the Bible says, you reap what you sow. So it's what you sow into your marriage, into your life, into your career, that you're going to get back from. And looking at Bob's parents, for example, you can see they are such loving people. I was very blessed. One of the things I'm most thankful for, since getting married, is that I got into a happy, loving, truly loving and caring family. That my in-laws are loving. I've heard of in-laws from hell, so I'm so thankful that mine, on the contrary, was just love and embracement, every day, and care, people calling and checking on you. So you can see that's what they've put into their family, love, and that's what they're reaping now with 50 years of joy and love as well. They're truly loved because they have loved.
There is so much that they inadvertently somehow gets down to you. A lot of patience that is needed. A lot of patience all the time. I think my mom used to tell me, when you put axes in one kiondo, they'll always go banging each other and there's some noises, yes? But at the end of the day, they'll finish the journey and they'll get to where they're going, yeah? But that doesn't mean that there is, no. So there's a lot of patience that is needed. And all the time, they always say, you have to give and take. You cannot come in and decide that because this is the way I feel, or this is the way that I think things should be done, it will be done that way. No, somebody else has another idea. Yeah, I don't think yours is always the best, Give and take some, reach at 50%, come halfway, you'll get somewhere.
Rosemary contracted me to plan the parents' 50th anniversary. I suggested what we could do with the altar, because what was there initially didn't look very nice. It was red and white, and of course, being a golden anniversary, we were not gonna use red and white colors for the day. So I proposed that we go for gold and yellow and navy blue. It was a golden jubilee. I was trying to place what can go with the jubilee, you get. And that is why I proposed to her gold will also come in handy, because it's a golden jubilee. We need to have some gold on the day. Yes. When I looked at, when the parents were coming in, when they were received and the Kayamba Fiesta team were entertaining, the smile, I think the parents didn't expect to see what they were seeing. The decor was simple and smart. I think she liked it, because even the following day, the dad, he was very happy. He was just telling me, I mean, it was beautiful. We loved it and we had a good time. For me, it was the parents. Yeah, it's a parents. And then even on the walkway, I gave them that idea of having photos. Yeah, I called it walking down memory lane, whereby when the dad was single, so they met, they got married, then the grandchildren, you know, and then the big family. Those were the last pictures. So the parents, when they were walking down the walkway, this was a surprise for them. That also took them aback. Yeah, because like one of the photos, the father had shorts. And then the mother, the single lady, it was nice.